Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to more FireRed LeafGreen. Trapped in OAKS lab in the Pokemon Center simulator. What's up everybody? Yes, Gale of Darkness is officially out, chat. It's true. Now, anybody who hasn't played Gale of Darkness can have the joy of one of the worst starting missions in any Pokemon game, finding the professor. Listen, I love Gale of Darkness, but the beginning of that game stumped me. And I just saw another tweet complaining about it, so I don't think it was just me. Find Dr. Crane the dumbest start of any Pokemon game. I co-sign that. Again, I love Gale of Darkness. Great game. Big fan. But the start of that game, I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking. Alright, let's just jump into it, chat. We gotta escape one of these buildings every now and then, right? We gotta get out of one of these. Can get stuck doing the uncatchable shiny in Gale of Darkness. That is true! If you want a good uncatchable shiny hunt, the tutorial battle in Gale of Darkness is a great way to do that. Alright, Carp, you're on the board again. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We were just talking about Gale of Darkness, which is now live. Don't know where Colosseum is. Gale is a sequel game, so, you know, kind of weird. Ooh, we got the monkey ball jams tonight. I believe it's the Salamence in the tutorial that can be shiny. If you want to see a big green Salamence that you can never have for yourself, I've got great news. His Gale of Darkness does a cute little tutorial battle intro, which I like that part. That part of the intro is fine. It's just exploring that convolutedly laid out lab. Having to find the stupid little sister, Jody. Gale of Darkness, I'd also argue, has one of the most unsettling, weird places in any Pokemon game. With that... He's not a professor, the doctor. The mad doctor. Where, what's his name? Chobin? Where Chobin battles you. That is such a weird... They made it so sinister. It's like a haunted house. Jovi. Jovi. You got your Mudkip and Emerald? Nice. Collect all the unknown forms. I did that when we played through, what was it, Gold recently, and it was actually pretty fun. Hello, everybody. How's it going? We're getting right back into the shiny saddle today. You gotta get out of OAKS lab. Sun and Moon fans seething with rage. I don't understand why they're not releasing Colosseum. Like, what's the problem? I mean, you don't have to play Colosseum, obviously, to play Gale of Darkness, but it does give you a lot of context about, you know, Cypher, and there are some returning characters. It's so bizarre. I don't get it. Mirror B's outfit. I mean, I like his theme in Gale of Darkness, but his outfit is a definite downgrade. Yeah, I don't have the GameCube expansion either, so... Next time we play Gale of Darkness or Colosseum on the channel, it won't be on official Nintendo software. Program the Jirachi bonus disc. Which, that would be cool if they had any sort of home connectivity, which I don't believe they do. So your Jirachi would be stuck there. The big muscular guys lost their necks. That's true. They did change some of the art style did shift a little bit. Even with the main protagonist, which I have a bit of fondness for. What's his default name? Michael? Michael! But he's no Wes. He doesn't have the swag factor, the sauce, the secret sauce that Wes had. Which again, one of the biggest disappointments was learning that they were going to have Wes in Gale of Darkness, and they changed their mind. If I had a nickel for every time a sequel Pokemon game was going to bring back original game characters, but it got scrapped, I'd have like 3 nickels. Which isn't a lot. But it's still too many. No Hilda in Black and White 2, no Wes in Gale of Darkness, sad. Yeah, the under was so... That was a big loss. I don't even know why they had to get rid of it. Just reuse the assets. Just give it like a few new signs and call it a day. You don't have to do anything super fancy with the under, but they just got rid of it. Colosseum definitely has a more grimy feel to it, but that's complimentary. The grime is all complimentary, because we don't have Pokemon games that feel like Colosseum. The Under is essentially a big little criminal gathering place. And I sorely missed it in Gale. Miss Carp, are you shiny? 19010. Nope. Surely one of these has to crack soon, right? Right? The Mount Silver Showdown for every progress. Yes, that would be so cool. I don't understand why they don't. It's such an easy way to throw in a little bit of fan service that people would love. But they refuse. Shiny Lock Deoxys in your copy of FireRed. Oh no. When you start feeling like shinies got patched out of your game, you know you're in too deep. What's up, CB? Advocate for doing ace glitches? I mean, play however you want. But maybe don't, you know, do that, make a whole bunch of shinies and claim they're legitimate. My legitimate shiny Swampert from FireRed and LeafGreen. Because it was post-game. Gale of Darkness has a post-game that is very, very difficult, actually. There's a Colosseum that you can go fight, and all of the Pokemon teams have insane strategies. Colosseum's a fairly difficult game too, especially that final gauntlet with the two final bosses. They're more challenging than your average Pokemon game, we'll say. Going back to your Suicune Roamer, ooh, that's such a nice looking shiny in this game. Shiny Suicune. They kind of popped off with Entei, Suicune, and Raiku's sprites in this game. They're really nice. The Mount Battle. I have such a core memory of going through Mount Battle to get Ho-Oh as a kid. It was fun for me. I loved doing it. That was like baby's first challenge. $19.15. The Great Magikarp of 1915. Back they made you work your ass off if you wanted Ho-Oh back in the day. $10K plus looking for female shiny Charmander. Wow. Hey, Slowbro, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Still do Masuda hatching? So do I. I think a good old-fashioned Masuda hunt still hits. Especially, you know, not in like Scarlet Violet, but in Sword and Shield. Didn't I see some shiny event coming up where it's like centered around hatching eggs? 100 Mount Battle. I think that's when I started to actively look up stuff on the internet, so I knew what I was in for. A modest Charmander. That's in April. You want to do Safari Week? Safari Week got a lot more interesting with FireRed and LeafGreen on the Switch now. I did my first Safari Week last year in the marsh in BDSP. I actually had a little bit of success, so it was not that bad. I think I got a Bidoof, and a Babarrel. The 3 Bs. I wish the marsh was just a bit more interesting with its spawns. It really isn't that comparable to the Safari Zone, I'd say. A Nidorino ran from you? Oh no. See, I had success in my first Safari Week. I don't know if I'm ready to face failure. They should get Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald on here ASAP so we could do the Emerald Safari Zone. I am still very under odds for both of these hunts. Magikarp is closely approaching Charmander numbers, though. Magikarp might overtake Charmander if Charmander continues to take forever. Miss Mander, not shiny. Nerds clusters, nice. $4,500 plus Squirtle resets. Oh no. I feel like Squirtle's betraying a lot of people. I feel like Squirtle is massively betraying people. 1920 carps. Playing Gale of Darkness? Nice. We were just talking about that. What's my opinion on Gen 9 hate? Mostly deserved. Mostly. There are some things that I like about it. Mainly the DLC. And there's some good Pokemon in the gen, of course. But you could say that about every generation of Pokemon. This is Stardew Valley. This is spring. We're returning to one of my classic playlists. You get bummed when you lose shinies. I think that's honestly why shiny hunting in the marsh was nice for me, because there was no real stakes. None of those Pokemon I really needed shiny. It was just mostly fun. I mean, it was stressful when they were shiny. It was stressful. But don't feel like you need to participate in every single shiny community activity if you don't want to, chat. If it stresses you out, you don't have to do it. Like, it stresses me out. I get it. Shiny hunting in the Safari Zone. Whew. Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Does that mean LeafGreen has an advantage today, chat? The luck of the Irish? Are they providing luck for Bulbasaur? If I get Magikarp today, maybe so. I typically have decent luck on holidays. Maybe I will find one of these will be the gold at the end of the rainbow. It is nice to come across an unexpected shiny. I would love for that to happen in this game. I saw somebody encounter a random... What was it? They encountered a random shiny. I was like, oh man. That's so cool. In classic YouTube music playlist fashion, its ability to shuffle properly is just terrible. Let's get some Battle Revolution music in here. Gateway. The Gateway Colosseum. The blue corner sends out their first Pokemon. Trying to get a spoon. I got a twisted spoon in Poptopia. Oh, speaking of Poptopia, Poptopia just got an update tonight. Unfortunately, it didn't add or fix any gameplay stuff. It's just all bug fixes. Which some of the bug fixes were cracking me up. Apparently, Bleak Beach had... the beach area has the most bugs. People were having trouble with Tangrowth being able to cross the bridge and get over there. How does that even happen?
Welcome back.
Hey, Claire, thank you for the 8 months. I appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back. Wondered if it was bugged. That's how people used to react to shinies. People used to think shinies were a glitch or a bug, like the infamous, "Is my Latios sick?" that we reference all the time. Bulbasaur got his luck from Gibble. He did. Which, speaking of Gibble, chat, I think tomorrow we will try out the new season of ZA Ranked. I get to be the annoying Garchomp user now. Look at me. I'm the Garchomp user now. I was thinking Mega Garchomp Z, maybe like Mega Delphox, and I don't know who I want my third to be. I'll continue to ponder. Dialga Saint. I kind of like Dialga's shiny. It's much better than Palkia's, at least. Swear you got a shiny Cyndaquil as a kid, but reset over it? Oh, no. That's like, I have the foggiest memories of getting a few shinies in Gold, Silver, Crystal. But I cannot pinpoint exactly what they were. Hate that. Houndour. Turn the game off the second you get to the hotel. You can't bear to see Ansha and her evil gremlin. It's good to take a break from ZA, trust me. It's very good, especially if you're playing the DLC. $19.30 carps. This is such a good song. Battle Revolution has some great music. Poptopia fixed the Torkoal escort mission. It's so bad. I had an entire clear path and Torkoal just kept stopping. It was tilting me off the face of the planet. Slowpoke was fine. When I made Slowpoke's path, Slowpoke made it just fine. I don't know what went wrong with Torkoal. He would take a few steps on the grass and then just stop. It was like a very Torkoal thing to do. It was actually intentional. Oh, let's see. Let's see what he says.
Arcanine.
Arcanine.
Arcanine. He said that so matter-of-factly. Arcanine. It doubled it because it was so loud it came through my speakers. Ponyta and FireRed. That is a cool one, though. That's a really cool shiny. Ponyta and Rapidash in this game look so good. All right, I'll turn my mic down for this one.
The Doom Desire has been granted. It's down.
Oh, that was a great roll. That was a great roll. I don't even know if I've heard that line before. Jirachi's an insane Pokemon. Doom Desire. That was a good one. Doom Desire. Forget Doom Desire is a move. Does that have the same name in Japanese? I'm gonna look it up. Pokemon Doom Desire. Sounds like something Victor Von Doom would say. Yes, Bulbapedia, I'm human. Thanks, Cloudflare. Okay, I figured Doom Desire in Japanese is Doom Desire. Summon strong sunlight to attack 2 turns later. Only learned by Jirachi. They were kind of cracked when they made Jirachi. Serene Grace. Its entire typing. It popped off. I miss Jirachi. I feel like we haven't seen Jirachi in a long time. But you could say that about any number of mythicals, right? Different version of Future Sight, essentially. Yeah, Steel Future Sight. I can't wait to see what type of mythical we're gonna get in Gen 10. I hope they have a story like they gave for Pecharunt. I don't want any more GameStop-only mythical distributions, please. Let's never do that again. Just got a female shiny Snorunt. Nice. I got lucky with Snorunt with the first one I caught in ZA. So I was able to have Frostlass on my team. Having to pay $30 for the mythical. I mean, that depends. Or if the DLC is like Crown Tundra, I'll be less grumpy. If the DLC is like ZA, hit the panic button. A mythical bunny Pokemon? That could be cute. I do hope it's, I prefer when mythicals are little cute fellas instead of whatever Zeraora is. Or Zarude. Bipedal Rageramon. Zarude will eat your face. Zarude probably has eaten several humans' faces in the Pokemon world, canonically. I would believe that. I would absolutely believe that. The Scarlet Violet game. That was so disappointing. First of all, it was disappointing that they even partnered with GameStop again. It had been years at that point, so I thought we were scot-free. But Scott came back and it wasn't free. What's up, Drumsticks? And the fact that GameStop tried to tie it in with a big TCG release so they just attracted all the scalpers, heinous. Oh, speaking of scalpers, chat. I have a very funny Twitter post to show you all. From everyone's favorite guy. Let me just read this out to you, chat. From Logan Paul. Gengar is the perfect Pokemon. He's essential to every trainer's starting 6, with a versatile and unpredictable moveset. Can you tell he generated this from ChatGPT yet? If he's taken damage, Hypnosis to Dream Eater will put your opponent to sleep, suck their HP, and then replenish yours. With the right trainer, he can't be killed. Not to mention he's immune to normal fighting and ground type moves. Brother, Gengar has not had Levitate for 10 years. Beyond his obvious tactical advantages, Gengar's aesthetic is big and menacing, but at the same time, virtually non-existent. A ghost with a grin, he's dark purple, which represents luxury, power, wisdom, and mystery. How does this guy not choke on his own bullshit every day? Gengar is shrouded in lore, rumored to be Clefable's shadow, nicknamed the Trickster Entity. His presence is marked by a sudden drop in temperature. He's literally chill AF. Oh, and the only way to get Gengar was with a link cable and a homie, through a trade. His evolution wasn't possible through level grinding, only kinship. Gengar is king. Oh my god. How do you post something like this and not feel deep embarrassment? Responding to the prompt, why is every man's favorite Pokemon Gengar? Gengar has not been immune to ground types for almost 10 years. This tweet might be the most Logan Paul has ever exposed himself as a complete Pokemon tourist. Fucking idiot. Oh my god, this is so funny. That is so funny. Oh, this is a great clip.
No, I don't.
Man, that chick's so basic, her favorite Pokemon's Gengar.
Take Logan Paul to civil court and try him for grand larpeny. Oh my god. If your favorite Pokemon is Gengar, I am so sorry, man. You've been dealt a devastating blow on this day. Also, I counted that twice by accident, so we'll not count the second one. I need to read that again. I need to read that again. A ghost with a grin. He's dark purple, which represents luxury, power, wisdom, and mystery. What? What? Luxury, power, and mystery. Did he hit the crack pipe before he put that prompt into ChatGPT? This is why you can't buy Pokemon cards on shelves due to people like that guy. I think that Justin stopped collecting. The angry video game nerd dude. I think he stopped collecting. What was the prompt that he put in there? Please describe Gengar as the coolest, most awesomest Pokemon ever. He doesn't even have enough to say about Gengar. He has to have a chat GPT tell him. Oh, he gave up. I think he's still with us. He's going after Yu-Gi-Oh now. Good luck with that, buddy. Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes have been like $50 for a year now. Good luck, dude. Clown Fiesta. Luxury and wisdom. It's like a child trying to bullshit to get to a limit in their school essay. Get these people out of here, man. I saw a post with like Steve Aoki and Kim Kardashian opening Pokemon cards the other day. This shit is bleak, chat. No idea what to look for. Didn't one of the big Yugi tubers trick a bunch of those guys into buying that Mako Tsunami set that didn't sell very well? And that other set from Arc 5 with the Synchro Boy on it? The face of luxury and wisdom. Oh my god. Hoenn members, can't go wrong with Tropius. People always say Tropius, he's a great guy. Luxury and wisdom as nicknames for Gengar. Can't these people move on to like, go back to shoes or something? Get out of card games. Let us buy our cardboard in peace. What's up, Purple Pikmin? Yeah, go get into like luxury cars. Go get into a hobby that only fellow rich people can get into, please. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast! 2,400 Manders, chat. Oh, speaking of Pikmin, did you guys see the Mario movie little... I guess it was like a TikTok or a YouTube short? And they had Pikmin in there! Miyamoto loves putting Pikmin in stuff, bless him. There's a whole ton of Mario characters that were in that. Where's my Pikmin movie, Miyamoto? I'd be there day one. You got a spoon? Nice. Congrats on the spoon. Yeah, if you ever go to the Universal and Super Nintendo lands, there's hidden Pikmin all over. That's so fun. Reminder, if you're looking for a good Switch game, Pikmin 4, big fan. Big fan. Yeah, they had that Pikmin animation with the baby. Remember that from a few months ago? That was so weird. Pikmin 4 also had a demo, which I think is still available. Which, that was a really nice demo. I love when games have demos that are actually like they give you a good feel of the game. It convinced me to buy it. Pikmin are Miyamoto's real baby. I wonder when we'll get Pikmin 5. Hopefully not gonna take a decade after 4 got released. Also, it's the "Get a Load of This" song. Has the GBASP Pikmin games have a lot of very cute little Easter eggs in them for other Nintendo franchises. There's a very, very cute Zelda Ocarina of Time Easter egg in Pikmin 4 that I really loved. They're just well-made, solid games. They look great. They have really lovely music. I like the nighttime mode they added in 4 with the glow Pikmin too. I thought that was really cool. Bulbasaur did give me false hope. Pikmin 1 and 2 are pretty difficult games. I can see them stressing out many children. I wish I played Pikmin as a kid. I remember Pikmin, clearly. But I never tried it until 4. Now I feel like I missed out. Is it actually accessible? That's good to hear. A lot of Nintendo games are not. What's up, Silver? I gotta play 3. All the Pikmin fans say that 3 is good. As soon as I see somebody say that Pikmin 3 is the worst mainline title. 3? You think 3 is worse over 1 and 2? What's up, Cacturn? The Deoxys movie? Destiny Deoxys? Does it hold up? I remember liking it when I saw it a long time ago. Also, I think I counted an extra Charmander, so I won't count this one. So, I think the count is accurate again. You just got shiny Eevee, congrats! No, I get what you're saying. $19.55 Magikarp. Is it in Vancouver? I remember it being like some sort of technological city. Like Ash and Co. get stuck by the stairs or something. I can't remember. It's been too long since I've seen Destiny Deoxys. There's so many games I wish I could go back in time and give myself as a child. Alright, let's do a double check. We haven't done one tonight. Double check. Double no. Come on, game. It's St. Patrick's Day. Where's my gold shiny? Where's my gold at the end of the rainbow? It's funny that you bring up the Wii U. I saw a post about the most successful Wii U games today. It's honestly a very interesting list. There are some true bangers there. The good old Wii U. It's a retro console now. Escape the lab. I'm trying. I'm trying. Free stream streak. Nice. Per GameStop. I mean, I don't think I'd argue with anybody who would tell me, who would say it's a retro console. It's quite old at this point. Well, fairly old. Maybe not quite. You're gonna buy a gaming computer? It's a good investment. Never got the Wii games in consoles. I love the original Wii. The original Wii, I can only kind of describe it as kind of Pokemon Go-esque. The Wii was so huge when it first came out. And I had all those commercials with those two guys. We would like to play. The marketing team deserved a raise. Whatever marketing firm came up with those two guys. 10 out of 10. There was a sloth bear. Nice. Love them. We would like to play. And I think a lot of the Wii success is due to the fact that it was bundled in with Wii Sports. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Reggie. We miss you, Reggie. Yeah, the Wii was my first experience with scalpers. Nintendo did not predict how well the Wii was gonna sell, so they were super duper hard to get. Female Mander. She ain't shiny, though. Yeah, when Pogo came out, Niantic basically hid. You all remember that? There were so many issues with Pogo at launch, and Niantic basically just hid away. They didn't, they didn't want to face the heat. The Wii commercials have people standing up to play, never sitting down. There are certainly some Wii games you probably would want to stand for, but that is funny. You need to pick up a Wii at some point, or a Wii U. Are Wii U's expensive? My least favorite part about the Wii U is the actual build quality of the console. It's covered in that, like, really cheap plastic shell. The Switch 2 feels like a premium console, whereas the Wii U, when it released with that awful plastic, felt like a cheap toy. You used to be able to find Wiis in, like, Goodwill all the time. It's probably not that easy anymore. Fisher Price abortion. That's one way you could describe it, I suppose. Yeah, the Switch 2, at least, of course, in my opinion, does feel like a premium console. Wii U's cost less than new 3DS's. Yeah, 3DS's have really started to creep up in price. DS games essentially... DS and 3DS games being stuck on those consoles probably is one of the reasons. One of the contributing factors. The screen on the Wii U is garbage. It is. It feels like a Fisher-Price tablet. I mean, you could hate the Wii U and still acknowledge that it had some decent games. For some reason, I have a core memory when the Wii U came out. I didn't get it at launch. But I remember Anthony from Smosh getting sent, like, a Wii U and being so jealous. He gets to have a... I think he even was... That was after he left Smosh. I don't even know how I came across that. I was definitely having FOMO of all the content creators and people getting set the Wii U. Oh, you're thinking about getting the Thor? I've seen so many people posting about the Thor. Actually, didn't I see that they're gonna raise the price? Kid Icarus to the Switch. Too bad we haven't gotten a Kid Icarus game since. That seems like a franchise that could be successful, but Nintendo just doesn't seem interested in doing anything with it. They'll bring it back and then put in a giant, empty, awkward open world section that nobody likes. Because they took all the wrong lessons away from Breath of the Wild success. Wii U had terrible marketing, yeah. See, they should have brought back the marketing firm from the Wii era. Those guys were cooking. $19.70. And $24.22. We're almost at $24.24. I've actually never played Uprising because I saw some people say that it made them a little bit sick. I just never grabbed it. I'm kind of a 3DS part-time hater. Mostly because the 3D gimmick stuff just did not do it for me. I'm very glad we're past that now. The era of all the 3D gimmick shit. Ugh. Your TV is 3D. Your handheld console is 3D. The controls were awful, but it was otherwise a good game. Yeah, I would love for them to port it or make a new one so I could properly play the franchise. You know who else is in 3D? I think, I barely ever used the 3D feature. It's one of those things where I remember when I first got my original 3DS, which, shout out to my fellow Nintendo ambassadors out there who are part of the 3DS ambassador program. I remember getting my 3DS and being like, whoa, this is so cool, and then like never using the 3D slider ever again. The original 3DS also had that kind of plasticky shell on it, but I liked the colors at least. That teal color was always nice. What game did I think I got one of the handheld Street Fighters. That's how bleak it was when the 3DS came out. That's how little games they had available. I think the XL is when Nintendo really got into their stride with designing those. Same thing for the DS, honestly. The original DS is so bricky. I do find that charming about it, though. The DS fat with a P. I never had a 2DS. The 2DS kind of reminded me of like the Switch Lite, where it was geared towards younger audiences. I also just thought it looked like a door knob. Not a doorknob, a door stopper. I never liked the look of the 2DS. Resetting or try RNG manipulation. I'm not a fan of RNG manip personally, so. You didn't like the DSi? I like the DS Lite. The glossy plastic on the DS Lite I always enjoyed. They had some fun colors too. Nintendo knew how to do fun colors. What happened? Everything has to be gray, black, or white now. I mean, a white Switch 2 would have kind of been neat. DSi was perfect. I had two DS Lites. I had a pink one and then I had a blue one. And now I don't have either of them anymore. RIP. GBA had fun colors, it did. A bit girly. Oh no. A purple one. Oh, that's fun. Purple. That's an underused color for consoles. Why did Nintendo go the hardest for colors on the GameCube? The best console. Taught yourself how to fix it. Oh, that's cool. I got a blue DS Lite just so I could play Pokemon White in Japanese because that's when they started. After the DS Lite is when Nintendo started region locking. So I wouldn't have been able to play Pokemon White on any future console after that. So I traded in a bunch of shit to GameStop to get a DS Lite just so I could play Pokemon White in Japanese. Worth it. Mr. Mander, you are not shiny. Region locking should be... It is criminal. Free Japanese lessons. That was the dark ages before X and Y, where Pokemon games came out in Japan a long time before over here. Which is weird to think about. So many things have been pushed towards universal releases now. Even trading cards have started doing that. It's crazy. You lost your childhood red GBA SP. Oh, that sucks. I only had the boring silver original SP. And I didn't even have the one with the better back screen. Which I didn't even know about until much later. Sky, thanks for the 69 biddies. Good luck on your Deoxys hunt. May the yellow alien descend from the triangle. 3DS modding allows for region unlocking. Good. Did I ever have the N64 Pikachu limited edition? I always wanted one. I actually have always wanted the Japanese one. So over here, the Hey You Pikachu N64 was blue, but over in Japan, it was orange. I'd love to pick up a orange N64 at some point. The N64 just had the best colors. It just had the best colors. $61.50 for Squirtle. Oh man, Squirtle's betraying so many people. That's crazy. The tiny turtle betray. 2 simultaneous hunts. Yep, one is on my Switch. FireRed's on my Switch 2 and LeafGreen is on my Switch 1. Atomic Purple. Atomic Purple definitely seems to be the fan favorite. I remember the gold N64 that was given away at like Toys R Us. There was like a Toys R Us exclusive. Anybody remember that one? Oak looks seriously mad. Oak should give me a shiny and then I can get out of here. Let's do a double check. Double check. Double no. The final world in Poptopia reminds me of this Sonic Colors level. What that gold N64 is worth now. Yeah, Oak's gonna start charging me rent. It has Planet Wisp aesthetics. All it's missing are the actual wisps. Disney's doing a Hannah Montana 20th anniversary. I saw that the guy that played Jackson, her brother, he lied about his age when he got cast, and they only found out halfway through season 1. That's so funny. He was like 20 years older than Miley Cyrus when they filmed that. Well, still now in real life. Nexalite, thanks for the $1. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's probably one of the most memorable modern Sonic game levels. He is the same age as John Cena, you're right. He is. A shiny or a lucky egg first. Good luck to anybody out there getting the lucky egg. I know a few of you have mentioned it. Oh, Aquarium Park? That is another good one. Aquarium Park reminded me of a level out of Unleashed. Also, heads up, Twitch chat ads are gonna play. Ad warning. The Great Magikarp of 1989. Lucky eggs are meaningless in modern games. They are. Who needs a lucky egg when you have XP share on from frame 1? The transparent green, that's a good one. Jungle green, classic. I'm still waiting for them to do like Sonic Heroes re-release. What about Sonic Advance? 1, 2, and 3. Alright, we're almost at the year of my birth for Mr. or Miss Carp. Sonic R. Sonic R controls like buns, but it's got a great soundtrack. You could say that about a few Sonic games, actually. The N64 had the worst controller. Yeah, it's not my favorite. They turned around and fixed that immediately with the GameCube controller, though. They popped off with that one. Mr. Wavy Carp. Hold on, chat. 1 second. Alright. Almost always delivers on the OST. Sometimes. I don't think I ever hear like Sonic Lost World music played anywhere, but for the most part, yes, that's true. The Trident controller. Don't let Poseidon hear you say that. Double check. Double no. Alright, random cry. This could be loud. Potential loud warning. Ooh, that was gooey. That was a gooey boy. Shiny Kartana and Ultra Sun. Oh, nice. I like Kartana shiny. I got my Kartana from Dynamax Adventures. I was gonna say like Doujiin, but I actually don't know. 1993, Magikarp, why? Why have you done this? 2445. Yeah, it sounded Gen 5. It's funny that certain gens of Pokemon have distinctive sounding cries. What's up, everybody coming in? We are still on the hunt for our golden friends, our golden fish, and our golden mander. Oh man, and we got some Sonic Rush music playing too. I'd love to get Sonic Rush re-released. Not like Sega's doing anything with Blaze's character anymore anyway. Still stuck in Oak Prison? Yes. The walls are closing in. Double hunting some Mander too. Any day now, that's what I keep saying. Eventually. Eventually? Was it Reuniclus? Let me listen. Yeah, I think it is. I think that was Reuniclus. Archie characters. Ken Penders has entered the chat. You reset your shiny Charmander? Oh no. That sucks. Modern Reuniclus sounds so different. Does it? I didn't recognize the cry, but I love Reuniclus, so maybe you're right. Ooh. One of Pokemon's best songs. Going down the Poptopia rabbit hole? Same. I just unlocked the, at least what I believe to be the final area. It's funny, I got there and I texted Tyler a joke about Knuckles, and then I got the Dragonite ability, and it's like, oh, I guess that was a prophecy. More of a glide than a fly. Yep, this is Archie and Maxie's theme. The Chao Gardens were the best part of Sonic games, and yet we haven't seen one in years. Isn't that such a... Again, Sega reminds me, they're eerily similar to Game Freak at times. Oh, this fun thing that everybody loved? Oh, you're never gonna see it again. Anyway. There's the tiny Chao Garden in Sonic Advance, which I loved. 2,000 carps! We are in the modern era for Magikarp. Now you're shiny hunting for Bulbasaur. Oh, good luck. The Chao remind me a lot of Pokemon, which is probably why so many people loved them. Weird ways you could crossbreed Chao, and just they had so many unique different Chao that you could make, and they had stats like Chao that were good in swimming. And then you could take them and do like the karate tournament or the races. Double Hunt and Mander just hit 6K. Oh, I hope we could all stay under odds, chat. I even got the Chaos Chao. That was like my crowning achievement when I was a child. I got all 3 Chaos Chao. Making bets on which one... Chat was correct about Bulbasaur. Everybody said Bulbasaur was going to be shiny before Charmander, and everybody was correct. I don't know who's going to win between Mander and Carp. I would like to get Charmander so we could leave OAKS Lab. But the shiny I want to get after Charmander is not very far away, so we won't be... we won't be playing for that long. Probably more FireRed, but I like both versions. I think the gold shiny is going to appear first. The shortest starter hunt? For some reason, I had very good luck hatching Froakie and Chespin in Scarlet. Which is good, because hatching eggs in that game is torturous. I think I hatched Litten very early, too. I want to say Litten was like 15 eggs in Shield. I had really good luck with Trico, too. I hatched a shiny Trico in Shield. from Masuda. Yeah, I did a few egg hunts in Scarlet Violet before I couldn't stomach it anymore. I got Fui. Oh, Fui Coco was very nice to me too. Fui Coco was very nice. Quaxley took a little bit longer, and then Sprigatito just never showed up for me. So in Gen 10, I got a shiny hunt the green cat. You got Fione in one egg? That's incredible. Yeah, I did Masuda for all those starters. Score Bunny, Sobble, then the Grookey Chronicles. I ended up having to hatch 2 Grookeys in Shield because the first one did not have the hidden ability. And this was before the ability patch item existed. So not only did Scorbunny and Sobble show up for me shiny, but they also had their hidden abilities, which was very nice of them. It was very nice. I still need to get another shiny Sobble because I evolved them. So now I have shiny Inteleon, but not Sobble or Drizz. Too bad in all the times I did Outbreak resetting in Scarlet Violet. I never saw any Sobble outbreaks. Just like Totodile, they dodged me. What kind of convoluted code did they have for the outbreaks in Scarlet Violet? Where the hell do you go after Gym 2? Oh, did you just beat Misty? You gotta head down to Vermilion. Did you beat Team Rocket on Nugget Bridge? Which, when I finally get shiny Magikarp, chat, I think we're gonna go do, we're gonna go Nugget hunt. Yeah, there's a house that you have to go through that's been ransacked by Team Rocket. (2010) Magikarp. Your apple hunt, that's fun. You can't get past OAKS Lab either. It's all RNG, I'm afraid. The one with all the footprints? Yes. Get out of that house and then head south. And then get ready to come back to Cerulean and get through the cut on the right side when you beat Surge. But you gotta go through the SSN first. That area is worth exploring. Check out Diglett's Cave, head to the route over on the east. Magikarp at 2026. The modern Magikarp. Did Heart Gold Soul Silver really come out in 2010? Oh my god. That feels like an eternity ago. Professor Oak would have caught a shiny just to give it away. He doesn't even know. Grandpa don't have internet. Ooh, one of my favorite Shadow songs. His eyesight just isn't what it used to be. Reminder, tomorrow, chat, we're going to check back in with ZA and try out the new season of Ranked, where I'm going to test out Mega Garchomp Z. If you've never experienced ZA Ranked mode, it's pretty fun. Paid an outrageous $5 for this fish. How will I ever financially recover? Do we have too much Hanto? We have FireRed and LeafGreen from 2004, and then Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. How's the shiny hunting going? It's going. I cannot escape the lab in FireRed, and we're stuck in the Pokemon Center for LeafGreen, trying to buy a shiny fish. If this guy knew he was selling me a shiny, you'd know he'd charge like $1 million Poké-dollars. Just like people charge for shinies on eBay. You think I'll get it before 3K encounters? I hope so. You played a little bit of Ranked and crashed out whenever your Pokemon died. Ranked can be a little bit frustrating, I won't lie. But at least the matches are not very long, so if you have a terrible lobby, you can at least get out of there quickly. Pop has such a great theme. Never had a run that good. Oh, who'd you use, Justin? What was your team? Oh, going after Dratini. Which, pro tip, chat, if you hold off on evolving Dragonair until 56, it will learn Outrage. So if you feel like waiting one more level to evolve your Dragonite, you get Outrage a little bit earlier. Out to hit 6K on Squirtle. Squirtle is betraying everybody. Kyogre, Torn, Miraidon, Incineroar, Ursh, Amoonguss. That is such a meta-ass team. That's the most meta team. Pop's best theme is his second fight. You got your Squirtle today? 10K, nice. I mean, the Scarlet Violet meta, you basically have to. If you're not using Miraidon, you're gonna get Miraidon'd. How broken are the legendaries gonna be in Gen 10? The Gen 10 legendaries are gonna set up like super terrain. Double intimidate. I hope they're not dragons either. Miraidon is so strong, and there's no great counters to it, arguably. I mean, there are things that could halt its progress, but it just hits like a truck. Were the Gen 5 legendaries broken? No. No. Kyurem White and Black are not either. I feel like Gen 6 is when the Switch flipped on, because that's when they started going sicko mode for both the legendaries and the starters. Protean Greninja, Xerneas Geomancy. Gen 6 is when everything started changing. Everything changed when Xerneas attacked. Is it bad that you don't track your encounters? No. Counting is a hassle. I would never blame anybody for not counting. If you want to have some sort of idea on your time, you could always keep track with like a stopwatch on your phone. Or just look at how long, you know, I'm gonna hunt for an hour or whatever. Or just don't keep track at all. You're the boss of your shiny sauce. Only good things to say about Sinnoh. Lots of people don't like Gen 4. More specifically, I feel like it's Diamond and Pearl. And less Platinum. Started LeafGreen for the first time. That's fun. Yeah, nobody says you have to shiny hunt if you... You could just play through the game if you want. I've seen some people do that and then just specifically target, like, Deoxys or something. Yeah, you're not forced to... If you don't want to count, chat, don't do it. Ooh, another good song. You're just looking to shiny hunt the legendaries? That's totally fair. Masuda will come and visit you in the middle of the night. Yeah, Cacturn, I agree. It's also very easy when you count to... Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to see. OBS disconnected. Please come back. Pretty please. Pretty please come back. Is it my internet? No. Reconnection. OBS reconnects, but it doesn't truly reconnect. Hello? Are we live? We should be back. We back. Yeah, this was OBS. You clocked it, Justin. What were we talking about? I forgot. Is this a race? Yes. FireRed versus LeafGreen. LeafGreen is currently winning by 1 shiny. Sinnoh's duds. Yeah, I don't think there are any ISPs, at least in the United States, that are worth a salt. The tiniest little grain of salt. Verizon, Comcast, Cox, whatever other ones are out there. Ooh, good Colosseum song. Which, reminder, chat, Pokemon Colosseum got released tonight on NSO. Are they limited releases only on Switch 2? No. Wait, is Gale only on Switch 2 actually? I'm not sure. I don't think it's limited, but it might be Switch 2 only. And they have not released Colosseum, which I can't stress enough how strange that is. Why? Yeah, GameCube's only Switch 2. I think that's right. I don't pay for the higher tier, so I don't know. I pay for the bare minimum. Remember when we didn't have to pay to have internet access? Thanks, Microsoft. Yeah, the way Nintendo has done NSO is just... I hate their drip feed. Their drip feed of games. $4.60 for Bulbasaur. GTS was free. I do remember. I do, in fact, remember that. Good times. They should just, yeah, they should just let us buy the games. I know why people hate game key cards, and that's valid. But I do think it's funny that a lot of those same people, you know, subscribe to the higher tier of NSO and buy a bunch of digital games. As if they can't get immediately revoked either. I miss normal Virtual Console too. We had it so nice back in the days of the Wii. What happened, chat? Yeah, they run pretty well on Dolphin. Although we did have a problem with Colosseum. One of the mini games did not did not work. Do. I still feel like Gale and Colosseum still hold up visually. Like, they're not groundbreaking graphic-wise, but they still look pretty nice. The most unfortunate thing about it is that they're NSO releases, so they don't have any compatibility with Pokemon Home. Also, heads up, Twitch chat, ads are gonna play. Few minutes of ads every hour to keep pre-rolls off. Poptopia got an update tonight too, but it was mostly bug fixes. They didn't add anything or fix the inventory. All Poptopia needs to do is add an extra slot for all items. Stacks are just way too small. I have like 500 stone that take up 6 different slots. No matter what Pokemon game I get, they're always giving us item stacks that are way too small. Remember when they updated ZA to have an increase in how many Mega Shards you could hold? Be nice if they could ever learn their lesson. The graphics did get better from Colosseum to Gale, that's true. But I kind of like the weird, janky look of all the human characters in Colosseum. Like I said, Colosseum's kind of like a grimy game, and I mean that fully complimentary. It is unlike any other Pokemon game that's been released. Gale of Darkness is also, I think, the first game James Turner worked on. I think he designed Shadow Lugia. He, of course, is also the designer of the Vanillite line, Vanillish, Vanillux. He's made a ton of Pokemon. Mainline games feel like they exist in a much more corporate, sanitized world, yes. Pyrite Town is the coolest town in, like, any Pokemon game. Do I think they'll re-release Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald on Switch? Yes. My guess is either mid to late year for them. They are in the code of the data mine for these two games, so I'm hopeful. Ooh, Reshiram and Ultra Sun, that's fun. Kyogre and Ultra Moon. Reshiram is probably my favorite, one of my favorite shinies, if not my favorite. It's very high up there. Do 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 do. Wow wow. Nintendo does a good credits song. If there's one thing Nintendo's good at, it's a good credits song. Ocarina of Time's credits song still makes me feel something every time I see it. You don't think it'll be for Pokemon Day next year? I think Pokemon Day next year is when they're going to go very hard for Winds and Waves. I'm hopeful that Pokemon Day next year is going to be like 70% Weewa. That's my hope anyway. Also, chat, when do we think we're gonna get Poptopia DLC? We know it's happening because of the Terra leak, and the game is selling very well. So I feel like it's a shoo-in, a guarantee. But when would they release it? Summer? Winter? Fall? I don't know. Mirror B was such an iconic character, people still talk about him to this day, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah, they did add a handheld boost mode. Both Switches got an update, I'm pretty sure. Both Switch 1 and 2, ask me how I know that. They prompted me to update as soon as I open these games. I like Mirab's lackeys, too. They're kind of like a little, like a Team Rocket-esque group. Why is his name Mirror B? I don't know. One thing I will say, if you're gonna play through Gale of Darkness for the first time, although this is more of a funnier thing in Colosseum, Colosseum and Gale have some of the most bizarre NPC names in any Pokemon game. Every NPC in that game has a bizarro, weird freak name. Yeah, like Gorp. So if you haven't played through those games, make sure you read all their names, because it's a joy and a delight. Yes, who could forget our Cypher Biden? No official DLC for Poptopia? Nah. It'll happen. Skrr. My favorite human being named Skrr. Yeah, there's been a few ROM hacks of Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, which is really cool to see. I'd like to play one at some point. The Pokemon Twitter referenced Twitch Plays Pokemon the other day, and all the comments were like, wow, you boxed your starter. They didn't understand. We're losing the ancient texts. Platinum Kaizo, oh boy. See, you have Pokemon ROM hacks, and then you have Pokemon ROM hacks where they're all racing to outdo each other, how difficult they all are. I saw one people were talking about on Twitter where you can't remember if it was the first gym leader or the second gym leader, but they just had a Zygarde. Like, okay. 2,500 Manders. Wow. It's a lot of Manders. I don't know why that tilts people so much. You boxed your starter? How could you do such a thing? As if it's like a moral failing. You boxed your starter? How could you do such a thing? You are pure evil. Don't give up. I'll try not to. There's a surprising... I follow a few of those ROM hack makers, and there's a surprising amount of drama that goes on in that community. And then you also have all the... I always feel bad for these poor people. They always have the responses that are like, oh, don't let Nintendo see this. The Nintendo ninjas are gonna... They're gonna get you. I'm sure Pokemon ROM hackers love hearing that for the 50th time every day. You found Rowlet at Poptopia? Whoever made, whoever decided on the roster for Poptopia really likes the bird starters. If they do Poptopia DLC for Gen 10, I know it's Brout that's getting in. Calling it now. Piplup's in there, Torchic, Rowlet. Just a lot of birds in general. Swablu, Pidgeyline. The Pidgeyline feels like it's back. They went away for a while, but now they're back. Who's your favorite bird Pokemon, chat? There's so many good ones. I don't even know if I could pick a favorite. Zapdos or Corviknight, those are two good choices. Piplup. Pidgey. Talonflame, Wingull. Ho-Oh, Cramorant, Hoot as a fun list. Toucanon, Murkrow. I like Skarmory a lot. I like Corviknight, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, such classics. Who else? Dodrio, it's a good one. Entei, my favorite bird. Ooh, Yveltal. Oh, Farfetch'd is a good one. Farfetch'd is very cute in Poptopia. Another bird. Chatot. I do like Chatot. Spearow. I love Fearow and Spearow. Ooh, Hawlucha. That's a good one. Eskew. Dang, you're all naming bangers, chat. Flamigo. It's weird how contentious Flamigo is. Bombirdier. Okay, we're losing the plot a little bit now. Mega Chatot. They should have done that. Is Lugia a bird? Yeah, you could say Lugia. Squawkabilly is the worst. They should turn Squawks into like a pirate in Gen 10. I want a pirate Pokemon so bad. Or Choreo, that's another good one. I feel like Gen 7, Pokemon design-wise speaking, really understood the assignment for making the birds and your more common animals interesting. The Switch updates? Yes. The Switch got both of them got updated, and Gale of Darkness is out on NSO, and Poptopia got a small update to fix bugs. Wowee, so much news. The bird on Skeledirge's head. They should have a name. That little bird needs a name. Staraptor. I like Mega Staraptor a lot. I hope they have a good ability. Or maybe they'll just keep... Well, we'll see. We'll find out soon. Archeops. My favorite defeatist Pokemon. Aerodactyl. The 3-stream streak, nice. Magikarp continues to not be shiny. I think I like every single Oricorio. There isn't one I don't like. But the Pom-Pom one is my favorite. Favorite frog Pokemon? Oh boy, that's a tough one. I am fond of most of Pokemon's frogs. Politoed is very good. Politoed also has a great shiny. Greninja. I even like Frogadier is fun. I know everybody always picks Greninja, but I like Frogadier. I like Seismitoad too. I still need a shiny head Timpole at some point. Palpitoad, of course. I did not like this Pokemon when it first got revealed, but it's kind of grown on me since. But I have a bit of a fondness for Bellibolt. Bulbasaur.
Shiftry.
Could you imagine if he said Politoed or something? Shiftry is a good pull. A regional Toxicroak. I am surprised that they have never done anything with Krogunk or Toxicroak. They were so popular. Toxicroak was kind of behind Piplup in terms of most marketable Gen 4 Pokemon. I don't know what, then he just kind of disappeared. Mega Furret. They haven't... Why is, like, the only one they've given a form to Alolan, Rattata, and Raticate? Krogunk was very popular in Japan. Especially during the anime when it was with Brock. Krogunk got an absolute boatload of merchandise. I need the Pokemon Center to restock the Rotom City and Cutie so I can pick up my refrigerator. I'm telling you, Chad, they just continue to ignore the majority of Gen 4 Pokemon. The starters don't get anything. Vespiquen, you know, any of the ones in the middle, Mothim, Wormadam, they don't even get to get included in a lot of games. I don't know why. We just had 2 back-to-back Gen 4 games. And they got diddly jack shit. Oh, but we have Origin, Dialga, and Palkia. Great. Lucario is all of Gen 4. You might be onto something. Lucario is that Family Guy meme where it's the dad sitting at the table eating all the food while the wife and kids starve. Lucario's sitting at the table and Vespiquen, Wormadam, Rhyperior, Licky Licky. They're all sitting there starving. Yeah, Rotom too. I really wish they would return to traditional Pokedexes. Instead of, what if it was just a Rotom cell phone? Boring. Boring. Give us our gadgets back. I miss the doodads. I don't want just... It's a cell phone, because kids have cell phones. Lame. Lame. That has affected so many franchises, not just Pokemon. My next stream, I'll be live tomorrow. This is all Yokai Watch's fault. They started that shit, and Pokemon copied them with that Rotom in Gen 7. This is all Yokai Watch's fault. The Rotom phones have been compromised like Skynet. Again, I want to remind people that Yokai Watch genuinely frightened Game Freak. And a lot of the choices they made in Gen 7 are in direct response to that. It's crazy to think about, especially now. But Yokai Watch's stink is all over Gen 10. Or Gen 10. Gen 7. Hopefully not on Gen 10. That wouldn't even make sense. The dances, the yappy little Rotom Pokedex, so much of it. Heavy emphasis on Pokemon like Palossand, Ghosts, Mimikyu. Lots of speculation that it would be the new Pokemon at the time. Also, with X and Y, they were kind of... I'm not going to say struggling, because then Pokemon Go came out and shot new life into the brand. But that was kind of after the Gen 5 era. X and Y stuff. Palworld will be all over Gen 10. I don't believe that. Oh, you got your shiny Dialga. Nice. Mr. St. Patrick has blessed your Dialga. Welcome them with an open box. Sometimes you just gotta get used to new Pokemon. And you're allowed to change your opinion. Like I said like 5 minutes ago, I didn't like Bellibolt when they first revealed it. You're allowed to have Pokemon grow on you. Sometimes you're allowed to like a Pokemon and then slowly dislike it too. What could Game Freak even take away from Palworld that would... Palworld just does not play like a Pokemon game. Like, if they are strapped with guns, maybe I'd say yeah. But that's not gonna happen. 25-25 Mander. Well, the Reggie's theme plays. You can name it Patty. Oh, that's cute. They're gonna have guns. The rifle legendary. The rifle legendary and the shotgun legendary. If Yokai Watch had came out today, people would have probably been so... It just seems like people do not... Anytime there's a new Monster Collector game, Pokemon fans just get weirdly territorial. And there's a lot to dislike about Palworld. I'm not saying there's not. But... Again, as somebody who has actually played it, it does not resemble a Pokemon game, gameplay-wise. It's more like Ark or one of those types of games. Why is it every time there's like a... Didn't Palworld get Palworlded recently? There was like another monster clone game. Why are all of those games so eager to copy Meganium? Has anyone else noticed that? They always have a Meganium copy. There's a grass dinosaur with a pink flower around their neck. Why? I mean, I love Meganium, but it's just so funny. Of all the Pokemon they consistently try to leech off of the design, it's Meganium. Pikmin. Those have been happening on for mobile games for a long time. Cassette Beasts. I gotta play Cassette Beasts at some point. I never played Temtem either. Temtem was $30 when it launched. And I thought that was a lot of money. For a little indie game. I got my Bulbasaur at $4.43. You would have bought Temtem if it wasn't online only? Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Is it still online only? Why would you ever do that? That's a great way to just throw a giant wrench into your game. You were part of the Kickstarter? I didn't even know they had a Kickstarter. That was a Kickstarter game? Without fail, anytime Kickstarter games get brought up, I think of Mighty Number 9 like an anime fan on prom night. Good night, Purple Pikmin. Have a good one. You don't think there's a single Poke clone whose monsters look even close to good? I think the only franchises I would say that they do look good are like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Palworld does have a few cute, not blatant copies. But they're few and far between. One of my favorites, its name was like Tiefin. It's like a porcelain elephant, which maybe they copied that from Animal Crossing, actually, now that I say that. But I like that little elephant. He's cute. I'm not saying it's a clone, I'm saying it's a franchise with a similar franchise with monster designs. They got shinies. Palworld has shinies too. Essentially. Oh yeah, Digimon has a lot of garbage. A lot of garbage designs. Yeah, they were called Lucky. Lucky Pals. $45. Beat Break? Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Beat Break. I like Gekomon. I'm excited to see what he ends up turning into. Either A tier or F tier, and there's no in between. I don't even disagree with that. If you like Digimon Time Stranger was a fun game. I did enjoy Time Stranger. It definitely is a very strong start and kind of a weaker finish, but I still think it's worth playing. If you like Digimon, probably their best game they've had in a long time. Recolors? Yeah, how many recolors of Agumon are there? Ice Agumon, Black Agumon, Professor Agumon, X Agumon. It's like Karibo. There's a lot of colors for Karibo, too. You pre-ordered it for your Switch one? When does it come out? I don't even remember. Being a Digimon fan is frustrating because Bandai continually... It's like Sonic, where it's such a popular franchise and yet the parent company doesn't want to spend more than $5 on any of their games or projects. Which, you could say that about Pokemon, too, now that I think about it. I think Time Stranger probably cost a lot more money than Legends, ZA did. Probably cost more than $13 million. Oh, it comes out in July. Wow, that's kind of far away. Yes, please tell me that they will invest now, please. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd say has actually gotten pretty good about getting out of, well, to some extent. But there's a lot more merchandise for like GX and 5Ds and stuff like that nowadays. It isn't all just Blue Eyes Dark Magician, mostly. Mostly. The Time Stranger was a fun game. Yeah, Konami was like, hey, maybe having booster boxes costing less than $50 every time a new set comes out is really bad. So we're gonna try to incentivize people to buy our product now. I think Konami is dumb for not continually having a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. That's one thing Pokemon has done that has solidified the brand as a titan. No matter what type of media you're interested in, you can find it in Pokemon. They are making video games again, thank God. Getting out of their pachinko era. Incredible. Yes, Pokemon continuously appealing to little children is why the brand is as big as it is. I don't think the Rush Duel stuff really took off. Maybe that scared them. Is that why they don't want to do a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime? They could just have like a new anime and not introduce like a Pendulum or a Synchro. I don't know if anybody's told Konami that they can do that, but they don't have to introduce a new convoluted system. They don't have to. Yeah, they didn't even bring it over here. That's how not confident they were. They freaking barely handle their own IPs. Real. Tips for DA? It really depends on, are you targeting a specific Pokemon first? If you're going after something like Zygarde or Groudon or Landorus, look for a Wide Guarder. That will help you tremendously. Play cards on their Beyblades. guess Magic the Gathering is the one that's heavily involved in the Fortnite crossover slop. Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon have not partaken yet. How censored the Yu-Gi-Oh anime is, that's what makes it funny. When those guys in season 1 hold out their invisible guns, I laugh every time. Rebooting Yu-Gi-Oh feels kind of, I don't know. Kazuki Takahashi is dead. Let the man rest. That Ninja Turtle set is so ugly. A Smurf set. That would be so fun. Then I get to see all the Magic players on Twitter try to justify it. You don't have to buy the Smurfs cards if you don't want to. Let people have fun. I love chat. I'll let you know in a little secret. I love watching Magic players suffer. Oh, those awful crossover sets. So funny. You can always find SpongeBob at the scene of any crossover crime, chat. Nickelodeon will lend SpongeBob out to anybody who asks. Does Marvel make movies anymore? Unfortunately. Does Nick believe SpongeBob is their most SpongeBob's gotta be their most successful property. As much as I love, like, Avatar or Danny Phantom, they're not reaching the heights that SpongeBob... They're never reaching SpongeBob heights. Nickelodeon has also never allowed SpongeBob to stop or slow down in any capacity, much like Game Freak with Pokemon. So he's just perpetually around. Gotta catch him all cause he's Danny Phantom. Teen Titans Go. That infamous screenshot somebody posted of their cable, and it was just Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go. New episode of Teen Titans Go, followed by more Teen Titans Go. You know, Cacturn, I really don't know. I've made my peace with that show a long time ago. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yep, Gale of Darkness just came out tonight. If you have the higher tier of NSO, which I do not. But if you do, have at ye. Catch all the shadow Pokemon. Maybe because they just played it endlessly, non-stop? Is it that simple? Cartoon Network is essentially dead right now. Which is very sad. What do children even watch anymore? I don't think Disney Channel has, like, we talked about Hannah Montana earlier, but what shows do they even have now? No, not the streamers. AI YouTube shorts. Oh no. Yeah, Cacturn is very cheaply animated looking too. Louis. I think I think that show has a, a big adult audience too. For some reason. A tiger man was pushing his cat wife off of a helicopter. That is peak coworker content. This is such a great song. There are adults watching AI slot for entertainment. That's crazy work. Did y'all watch Hey Arnold? I did. This is Casino Night Pinball from Sonic Generations. Hey Arnold was such a, at points, melancholic show. It's very unique. Immaculate vibes. I loved Arnold's room. Arnold had such a cool room. Except for that one episode where he was baking because it was way too hot. Because he had a glass ceiling. Helga. Fox Kids. I had Fox Kids too. It's funny you say Fox Kids. I had Kids WB as well. Kids WB was probably my favorite. But somebody posted a clip from the 2003 Ninja Turtles. And I listened to Casey's voice and I'm like, I know that voice actor. I know that voice actor. It's Duke Devlin. It's the guy who did tons of voices for Yu-Gi-Oh! I had to listen to it a few times and I was like, oh, it's Duke Devlin. Because that show had all the 4Kids voice actors in it. I think Veronica Taylor was April, actually. She was April O'Neil. The Kirby show. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby. That also had a lot of 4Kids voice actors in it. Like King Dedede. Now boy, I said boy. Honestly, given more Foghorn Leghorn. I think a lot of those Kids WB shows are on Tubi right now. Like Jackie Chan Adventures or my favorite Shaolin Showdown. I love being able to bring up Shaolin Showdown. Shout out to Shaolin Showdown. Save Martha. Carp. Save Martha, Carp. Does that make Charmander Superman in this situation? Kids WB had so many good DC shows. That's what really turned me into more of a DC fan over Marvel. Static Shock, Batman Beyond, original Batman the Animated Series. The Batman, another classic. I love Catwoman's design in that show. I like when Catwoman has big goggles, like she's a Digi-Destined. Also, I think Tom Kenny voiced Penguin in that show. And John DiMaggio was Joker. Lisa Ortiz, oh yeah. Amy. His voice is so unique, it is. You can always tell when it's him. I was watching the Mega 64 stream where they were playing I can't remember the game. And Rocco told a story about how they got into a limo with Dante Bosco. Which was so crazy. And Rocco said that Dante Bosco still sounded like Rufio, which I don't think he's seen Avatar. I definitely think of Dante Bosco more as Zuko than I do Rufio. But that's just a fun story. Apparently he's a nice guy, so. From Hook with Robin Williams. I think that was his, I don't know if he was acting before that, but I think that was his big break. Being in Hook. Some of those voice actors are everywhere. Mark Hamill Joker. Mark Hamill is just he's voiced a ton of characters. I will always love him as Skips in the regular show. It's one of my favorite ones that he's done. Aw, Kevin Conroy. The best Batman without a doubt. The grandpa from Hey Arnold? I don't think I knew that. It's always fun when you're watching something, you hear voice actor, like, wait a minute. I know that voice. Another good Sonic song. Good night, everybody. Heading out. Have a good one. Every area, wow. I wish I could do that. Thinking it was Danny DeVito. And if you're just showing up, what's up? We're at 2121 for Magikarp. Matt Mercer. I have never been that wowed by any voice performance from Matt Mercer. Is that a hot take? Do I need to hide for saying that? He sure is big celebrity voice acting, man, that's for sure. Archer, that's funny. Speaking of Overwatch voice actors, one of my favorite ones is the guy who plays Reaper, is also Beauregard from Foster's Home. That slays me every time I think about it. Reaper would hate Blue. Blue is a menace. Beauregard. It's like all the cool badass characters Steve Bloom has voiced. And then he voices Guillemon, the cutest little baby. Annoying bitch characters. Mac deserved a better imaginary friend, is all I'm saying. Tom, yeah, of course. He's got such a just a cool ass voice. I think of him a lot as Flame Dramon. He's done a couple Digimon voices. I think he was Black War Greymon too. Female Mander, not shiny. He kind of ruined the show for you. You hate shows with awful main characters. I always found Cat Dog a little hard to watch, so I agree. I think Foster's had a good cast of characters besides Blue that made it watchable. Frankie. Would have been fun to see her as the main character. Yeah, honestly. Hello. I feel like I've gotten the balance of doing the double hunts now. Ooh. This is Lysander's theme from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'm hanging in there. I wish my shiny would show up. Either one. Yeah, remember Rainbow Rocket, chat? Remember when Getsus pushed Lily? Yes. I think they should have cut the Rainbow Rocket stuff and focused on the Ultra Beast world. And the Ultra Recon stuff. But they went for the cheap fan service angle instead. I hated everything they did with Aether in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Didn't like a single part of it. Yeah, I want to see more Ultra Beasts. There's still some Gen 7 Pokemon I don't have shiny. And there's still some Gen 7 Pokemon that are shiny locked, like Cosmog. I mean, the Rainbow Rocket stuff was just so surface level. It didn't really... there was nothing to be told. There was no... It's like, remember Team Rocket? Remember Lysander? Remember Cyrus? And that's it. Giovanni uses Mewtwo Y. Ugh. Does he have X in the other version? I can't remember. Either way. Not huge on Mewtwo's Mega Evolution, so... That is Pokemon Go tier content. It is Pokemon Go tier content. Team Star. Let's hope they don't repeat Team Star in Gen 10, please. Team Skull is great. I don't think, again, they did not need to do any of the Rainbow Rocket stuff in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah, exactly, Enzo. What if the Pro Tag failed and then they do nothing with that? You show up, do a few Team Rocket arrow puzzles, fight a few grunts, have one conversation with them, and then that's it. It's so lame. Just like most things in that game. Ooh, you're approaching 7K fiery chickens. No, I agree, Sam. The Lusamine fight in Sun and Moon is... The finale... The story in Sun and Moon I like 500 times more than I like it in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. They don't remix old songs anymore. They just import them from the last game that they were in, and that's sad. Fan club and nerds. I mean, the way they ended the Team Star storyline, too, was just like, great, they're all back in school wearing their outfits. Great, they conformed. Great lesson, Game Freak. It's just like Disney. Disney has shied away from traditional villains a lot recently, too, for years now. Oh yeah, it absolutely feels like an uncomfortable Japanese thing. Conform. Don't stand out. Conform. Great lesson for kids, you morons. You know all that stuff that you used to wear that made you special and unique? Take it off. Put on your school uniform and get to work. Join the salaryman line. You don't get to have fun. Or that, the way they quiz you to get into the Elite Four. Let's just hope we never return to a school setting ever again. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that it's a school in Scarlet Violet. I mean, that's what I was terrified of when I was first playing through Sun and Moon for the first time with Lily. I thought for sure they were gonna have Lucamine be like, give a half-assed apology, and Lily would immediately be like, but you're my mom, so I've gotta love you. I was very afraid of that. Wasn't even a good school. You couldn't even decorate your dorm room. And yet all your friends, Nimona, Arvin, Penny, they have decorated dorm rooms. Curious. That's what they get for trying to force an open world game when they clearly were not ready to make one. We talked about the catastrophic lessons some gaming companies took, Nintendo included, after Breath of the Wild's success. Ugh. Taking away the wrong lessons from that game. X and Y or Sword and Shield story? It's gotta be X and Y. X and Y story is almost unbelievably unintelligible. Sword and Shield just barely has a story to begin with. I understand what Chairman Rose wants, even if it's stupid. I understand the angle they were kind of going for with Chairman Rose. When Lysander says he wants to make the world beautiful, like, what the hell does that mean? Yeah, Persona. Persona, they are not. Yeah, most of the game just doesn't have a story. And then in X and Y, you have that even more unpleasant post-game story with Emma. Which is just odd and off-putting. Chandelure with Ominous Wind. We're gonna play ZA tomorrow. We're gonna check back in with ranked mode. We're gonna try out Garchomp Z. I mean, it's kind of like Cyrus, too. I've never liked Team Galactic that much. Cyrus and Lysander remind me a lot of each other. If you wanted to start from the beginning, no. I still think it's insanely messed up that they gave Emma a Mega Malamar. What the hell? Remember when you got mind controlled, Emma? And a guy put you in a weird suit to commit crimes? Well, here's a Pokemon to commemorate the great time. Like, what? That's so evil. Team Plasma's fun. I do like Team Plasma. Mostly because they bother to actually tell a story with them in N. And Getsus is delightfully evil. Getsus is certainly not a deep character by any means. But sometimes it's nice to just have a character that's just evil for the love of the game, you know? Pokemon PETA. Yeah, they committed actual acts of terrorism in Black and White, too. They turned a city into ice. What other teams have had such a large impact like that? Yeah, it's nice when the gym leaders actually get involved like they should. You don't like Black and White's story? I mean, it isn't super overly complicated. I think I like the characters more than the story. I miss Team Skull. They were perfect. They were just the team that Sun and Moon needed to balance out with Aether. And then the reveal that Guzma's working for Aether the whole time. Like, that stuff was great. I mean, it seemed like they're trying to say something with Team Flare. 2600 for Mander, by the way. My god. Yeah, Guzma's theme, 10 out of 10. Team Snag'em and Team Cypher. That's true. That is true. Because every Team Flare, one of the Team Flare members brings up that they have to pay like $1 million Poké Dollars to join Team Flare. There's like hints and pieces, but overall, you have to really, really read between the lines. They could definitely use Aether again. Aether was fun because not only was Lusamine evil, but so was Faba. Faba is like the perfect piece of shit guy that you just want to beat. He is so annoying. An MLM. Nothing's eviler than those. Yeah, Faba is easily one of the most dislikable Pokemon characters. He's such a slimy guy. Obviously just in it to get power. Realistic for being real. The Poptopia story more interesting than a lot of the mainline games. I agree. Some of the notes in Poptopia are devastating. I found a note yesterday that I had to like sit there for 5 minutes and be like, damn. Professor Tangroth's backstory is very sad. Sadder than anything they've had in a mainline story for a long time. Even in the anime, he's a piece of shit. That's so funny. They kept it consistent. Also, I was gonna share this because it made me laugh. I talked to Professor Tangroth yesterday after going between the worlds, and he had a bit of dialogue that made me laugh. He said, "Have you ever noticed how I get here before you? I have to really run. It's very hard." He was all winded, and I talked to him, a little meta joke. That was so cute. Poptopia has so much joyous dialogue like that. Get it? Because he teleported to wherever you go. He isn't really running. That's the joke. Professor Tangroth is fun. I love him. Oh, you got Poliwrath. Nice. Already getting shiny. See, Dynamax Adventures delivers. The Game Freak logo. The Game Freak logo has always reminded me of Jinx. When I was a kid, that's all I would think. Whoops, I just reset the game. I'd say that was probably my shiny, but I didn't even buy the Magikarp yet, so... Let's do a double check. We haven't done a double check in a little bit. Come on, Blue, get your Squirtle. Double check? Double no! Dang it. What even have they ever explained what it is? Like, what is their logo? It was definitely shiny. I'm still thinking about that awful Logan Paul AI post about Gengar. What did he describe it as? Again, luxurious. A status of wealth. A ghost with a grin. He's dark purple, which represents luxury, power, wisdom, and mystery. That is so... Waycon, that is so funny. The logo is a ditto? Have they? Gengar hasn't had Levitate in like 10 years. That is crazy work. $21.60. That's a lot of fish. And Matthew Broderick from the 1999 Godzilla movie. Gold Silver Crystal have some of the best intros, if we're being honest. I've always been fond of the original Ruby Sapphire intros, too. I like that Logan Post tries to frame the Gengar trait evolution as a positive. Like it's supposed to be some sort of positive that you have to inconvenience yourself trading it. Seen cope never seen ever before. Oh, there's a neat Fakemon that I thought was cool. I wanted to show you guys. Again, this artist, he's so good. Look at this, the little Togepi Fairy Steel. How do you say it? Fabergé eggs? Look at that. Guardian Angels. They should give Togepi a form. I love that. That's fun. Machamp, the strongest Pokemon. I don't even think that was even remotely true, even back in Gen 1. Togekiss with Steel Fairy typing sounds like it could be terrifying, though. Togekiss is already a very strong Pokemon. Machamp, the strongest Pokemon. Poor Machamp. He's catching strays from this. Hepinny, oh, Hepinny's funny. Hepinny's very cute in Poptopia. Not usually one of my favorite babies, but she was kind of winning me over. What's up, Troop? I'm just shiny hunting Charmander and Magikarp. We're in the 2Ks for both of them. $26.15. Also, I saw this today. If you're a Poptopia player, chat, if you cook with Chef Dente, you get double the amounts of servings. I did not know that. I did not know that. So, little Poptopia pro tip. Cook with Chef Dente and you get double the meals. Female Mander, not shiny. Do-do-do-do-do. Larvesta was schmoovin'. That made me laugh out loud when I saw it. It was so random, too. That was the first time I'd seen any of my Pokemon hop in the minecart. Little Larvesta riding in the minecart. Larvesta's so cute. They really popped off when they made Larvesta and Volcarona. You know another two Pokemon that I really like in Poptopia that I just like a lot? Kricketot and Kricketune. They're so cute and charming. I want to build them like a music house. Besides Wurmple, Caterpie, and Weedle, Kricketot would probably be... Kricketune and Tot would probably be right up there. As far as early game buggies go. Sometimes Kricketune lets out a on occasion too, which is delightful. Yeah, I got Toxicity. I should bring Kricketune over. They can do a concert. I got Bulbasaur in 443 resets. I did! Check him out! My naive little Bulbasaur. Magikarp, do you also want to be shiny? No? Okay. I've been able to escape Oak's lab in one game, but not the other. Professor Oak, don't leave me here! Sometimes the YouTube Shuffle feature just doesn't work. Been shuffling into the same songs all night. Oh, you're coming up on the 2K mark for Bulbasaur. Oh, I hope you get it soon. We're all still under odds. For now. I hope everybody shiny hunting is under odds. If you're not, oh no. Ooh, you got Venusaur? She's so cool. How old is Oak? I don't know. What would you guess? He's got a grandkid who's a young teenager. I guess it depends on how young he was when he had his kid, his first child. Oh, you're hunting for Abra. I think I'll eventually make my way to the game corner for Abra at some point as well. I am tempted about... I want to get Porygon. Tiny Porygon would look so sick. 50? I feel like he's got to be older than that. I mean, he had to go to, like, Pokemon College, right? And get his PhD. Did he really have time to have kids when he was going to school? Elm strikes me as a fresh out of college age guy. Clearly, he's a newbie. Which was a great choice after Professor Oak. Magnolia. Everyone's favorite Pokemon professor checks notes Magnolia. Isn't Elm balding? A lot of guys can bald young. Some guys can start going bald in high school. The best tree and it got the worst professor. It's funny how much of a non-factor she is in that game. Pause your Magikarp hunt and move on to Celadon. Hey, whatever works. 26, 26, now 26, 27. A freshman in your high school who was balding you thought was a faculty member? Genetics can be like that. Male carp, not shiny. Technically, the two Pokemon I'm shiny hunting are bald. Charmander doesn't have any hair on his head. Magikarp doesn't have any hair either. That was Sand Hill from Sonic Adventure 1. What's up, Hatman? The Magikarp man is balding. He's gonna use this 500 yen to go get himself some plugs and turkey. Bulbasaur is bald too. Yeah, Froggy Dinosaur wouldn't really have hair or fur, would it? My favorite bald, Giratina. I know. I don't know if there's a way I can fix that. I miss the big emotes. A dude you work with went there for plugs recently. I think a lot of people... It's like going to Mexico for a lot of dental work. It looks like it would itch. It looks like it's so itchy. Smooth head starters. You've heard of a smooth criminal, now get ready for... Laying still for 12 hours? Oh my god. That's insane. It's that intensive? That's like getting a really big tattoo. I'm surprised how have they not, like, cured that yet? Miss Carp, you are not the shiny I am looking for. Shiny hunting for 12 hours. You can at least take breaks when you shiny hunt. You can get up, get a snack, watch a video, go to the bathroom. Which reminds me, I saw a post today of a guy who's streaming on Twitch, him being locked in a doll. What Rocco did? I mean, he's actually entertaining. Rocco's a real performer. He's good at his craft. This guy was in like a tiny dog cage. I don't think it's quite the same thing. I was thinking if Mabostiff or Mashchief are in Poptopia, I'm gonna build them a tiny cage enclosure. I'm gonna throw them in prison. I know Fido's in the game, but I don't know if they're in it. But if they're in that game, I am going to make them a special enclosure. What Pokemon sheds the most? Yeah, I think YouTube blipped for a second, but it should be back. I don't know why. Locked in a dog cage, stream cuts. A zoo. Pokemon Zoo Tycoon. Probably something like Stoutland, by the way, to answer your question. Have you seen how long Stoutland's hair is? Snorlax, too. I feel like Snorlax would have to shed a lot because he's always sitting down or laying down. He doesn't want to get like bed sores. You know, when elders are mistreated in like old people homes. Snorlax doesn't want that happening. We got real good mileage out of the which Pokemon is the smelliest the other day. I bet Incineroar sheds like crazy. Every time Incineroar has a match in the ring, they probably have to get a guy out with a vacuum to vacuum up all the cat fur. Tyranitar sheds through a whole evolution. I always like to imagine that Pupitar just becomes the main piece in Tyranitar's chest. Palkia sheds. I hate that Palkia is fluffy. That's just incorrect. Bulbasaur in 443 is wild. I know. I've gotten nothing since. A Dyson mascot. The Pokemon crossover you never saw coming. Oh, Roaring Moon has a little bit of Shelgon shell on its head. Dratini. Yeah, wait a minute. What about Snakeskin? The superior count? What about Arbok? Which I just picked up, I just got Ekans the other day in Poptopia. Ekans is a little tiny fella. I was charmed by its dex entry that said it's like a common field snake. You're gonna see them everywhere in tall grass. Scraggy, of course. Can't talk about a Pokemon shedding without bringing up Scraggy. If you want to see Fluffy Palkia, look up the HD box art for Shining Pearl. Windows Defender. Why the hell are you doing this while I'm in the middle? Windows 11! Thanks for scanning. Well, that's probably why YouTube just blipped. Windows 11 is evil software. Don't ever get Windows 11, chat. We see your CPU and RAM usage are up right now. Perfect time to do a security scan. Thanks. Silver versus Windows 11, it is my op. Palkia is not furry. Personal Teams account. Oh no. Felipe scamming my computer. Decided to stay with Windows 10. I did not hate Windows 10 as much as I hate Windows 11. I don't know what type of horrid sorcery they cooked up over at Microsoft, but yuck. Let me help you finish setting up OneDrive. No, too real. No, that's too real. Everybody loves harassing you about their cloud service. Two solid weeks of straight shiny hunting Bulbasaur. Oh, I hope you get your Bulba soon. Good luck. They were so offended by people calling them microslop that they tried to censor it. No, you can't say that. Don't call us microslop. That's really mean. Which I have another stupid technology story. I got a new phone. And I was in the middle of transferring from my old phone to my new phone. And my old phone told me that there is not enough space to transfer everything over. What do you mean? What do you mean there's not enough space? Why do you think I got a new phone? That pissed me off so bad. Like, what do you mean there's not enough space? I don't need a backup. This phone is gonna get traded in. As soon as it's done transferring data, I'm gonna wipe you. I don't need a backup. Just transfer my shit. I swear to God, Samsung. Setting up a new phone is both exciting and the worst thing in the world. Yeah, big speed. What about Gemini? What about Gemini? AI. How about you upgrade your battery, Samsung? I mean, it's a nice upgrade. I haven't upgraded my phone since 2020. So it's nice to have a new phone. But still. Bloatware. Oh my god, they want all the bloatware from the provider and the bloatware from the company who makes the phone. Terrible. S26, yeah, I got an S26 Plus from my S20 Plus. Best Buy had a deal for trade-ins that was better than what Samsung offered, but my phone was so... which I don't think a phone from 2020 is really that old, but old enough to where Best Buy wouldn't let me trade it in. Isn't that insane? So I had to just do it through Samsung. Because Best Buy wouldn't take my dinosaur-ass phone. Like, oh, okay. Great. Your 2014 iPhone, they gave you $700 for it. Yeah, they're giving me $900 for my S20 Plus. Which covers most of the new phone, which is nice. But I couldn't believe that Best Buy, which would have gotten me a better deal. They had a better deal. They wouldn't take my phone. It's like they strong-arm you. Did I get a new line? No. Probably why they had a better deal. $350 for your S24 Plus. Oh no. Actually, I said it was through Samsung, but it was through my service provider. The S20, I mean, the S26 isn't that different from the previous year's models. I've seen more criticism for it than I have people who like it. But it's a big difference from the phone I had. My mom's old phone, she had to upgrade because her bank apps started not working on her phone. Her phone was so old, which it wasn't really that old, that apps were just not updating for it anymore. They were discontinuing their support for older phone models. Like, isn't that some shit? Email Mander. Not shiny. Yeah, the AI stuff is just like, oh my god, you get out of my face. The color I got for my new phone is very similar to my old one. It's just that, like, aqua blue color. I got a nice case for it. Which, for the case I ordered for my phone took forever to get here. I find phones almost unusable when they don't have a case. They're so slippery, and I'm scared of dropping it. I mean, maybe if you're like an NBA player, it's fine to hold modern phones, but for me, they're too big and too slippery. Gotta put that case. And that pop socket. Oh, I tried out a MagSafe case. So it has like a, listen. I can take the little backing off and charge it wirelessly, which is very, very nice. An OtterBox. This case is pretty beefy, but it isn't too beefy. Uncased phone to his toddler child who immediately dropped it on the cement. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't think the S20 had wireless charging. I'll tell you something my S20 had that the S26 doesn't have, though. Micro SD card slot. That's why I swapped. I used to have iPhones. I had like the iPhone 4. But they were so... I never had enough space on those. Because Apple always insisted on having 2.5 gigashits of nothing on their products. But now not even Samsung includes them. Sad. You dropped it on asphalt and stepped on it. Oh no, the double whammy. Yeah, just pay an extra several $100s and they'll put a tiny little bit more storage on your phone. Make you want to play the game again? That's too real. I can't wait for the update. Custom ringtone. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that about them. Oh, my timeline has all just been about all the crap Nvidia is up to. Somebody needs to stop them. Good night, Enzo. Have a good one. Also, when I got my S20, they gave me the new Galaxy Buds for free. That feels preposterous now. You know what they gave people if you got the phone? If you got the S20, one of the S26s, you got $25 off a new accessory. Wow. You shouldn't have. And shout out to those Galaxy Bud earpods, because they have lasted me all that for years and years. It's just crazy how many companies give you less now. Remember that great deal we had to incentivize customers to purchase our products? It's gone. You can have one coupon now. Get out. Yeah, you have to buy chargers now. That should be illegal, I swear. They'll give you the cable, but not the brick. It's so criminal. Yeah, the box for the S26 is so thin and minimalist. That's because there's nothing in there. Less chips now. Oh, chips are such a scam. You're buying bagged air. A good thing to avoid e-waste. I would agree if it wasn't for a charger. I think the bare minimum is to include a brick and a cable. Making people go out and have to buy a new brick is just unimaginable greed. And of course, yeah, they don't adjust the price. You're still paying for it, the full price tag. Blame Apple. You can blame Apple for a lot, actually. I know there are still people who are upset that the headphone jack is gone. Remember when Apple came out with the lightning cable and they got sued? Deserved. A lot of people probably go out and buy phone chargers for their new phones, and then half of them don't realize it's not fast charging. Because not every charger is made equal. I saw a lady get kicked off of a plane for playing her phone loud. Good. Everyone cheered for the officers that escorted her off the plane. It's just antisocial. You are being not only rude, but extremely antisocial to do stuff like that. And you should be told to pound sand. I think it was United? United even gives everybody headphones. Like, what's the problem? Nobody wants to hear whatever crap you're listening to on an airplane or a train or anywhere else. blasting his phone. Ugh. Who raises these people? Jesus Christ. Hello. Flying is already such a stressful experience, and then you have to deal with Neanderthals like that. Leon from Galar would play music on his phone in public. That might be the meanest thing I've ever seen somebody say about Leon. How goes the shiny hunts? They're going. They sure are going. Oh, I should stop Magikarp at 222. 2222. Dang. Magikarp, come on, man. Viridian Forest for 31 hours. Pretty much same. I think I'm around that same time. How cramped and worse airplane seats are. I was so... When I flew back from Canada last year on my flight home, it was a pretty full plane, but it wasn't totally full. And one of the guy that was supposed to sit next to me, the flight attendant offered him a different seat, so I had the middle seat empty. That was so nice. That was so nice. So I had the window seat all to myself. I did. It was all my flights were smooth except for when I came back and flew into Denver. There was really bad weather at the airport, so the plane had to circle a while before it could come in and land. Which I had to wait several hours for my next flight, so that wasn't a problem. Thankfully. I felt bad for the people around me, though. They were all panicking. Visiting family later. Oh, that's fun. I did laugh because the airport I flew into, the first thing you saw was like a big hockey display. Yup, I'm in Canada, alright. Flying, I think flights are expensive at the moment, which sucks. More expensive than usual, I should say. Alright, let me log some Manders. And then we'll probably pick this back up again on Thursday, chat. Tomorrow, again, we're gonna revisit ZA and check out the new season of Ranked. I'm gonna try out Garchomp Z. It'll be fun. Then we'll probably do Do this again on Thursday. Miss Mander? Not shiny. Dang. Well, the last ads just played on Twitch, so let's do a few more. We'll do a few more for Mander, why not? I gotta get Charmander a little bit. Magikarp's starting to really gain traction on Charmander. Get some quick Mander numbers up. It's because we have to wait for Blue's slow butt to get his Squirtle. One of my favorite Sonic songs is playing. Mushroom Hill. Full out shiny Primeape and Victory Road. Nice! Mankey and Primeape shinies in this game look nice. I saw somebody on Twitter who got shiny Mankey. It looks great. Game Corner's so fast. Game Corner might be kind of... How am I gonna count that? I guess I'll have to just do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Just hit the button over and over again. Remember the order the starter types always appear in the Pokédex? Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I do forget. I always remember Bulbasaur's first. Grass is always first. By 30, I might be able to. I might be able to, actually. Previously on your quest to withdraw a potion from your PC. Ice, Fire, Electric trios are there in Pokemon? Does Rotom count? Obviously the legendary birds. I guess I'll get to 2700, chat. For the last one, we should do the battle. Look at Magikarp. Why are you not shiny? He's stunned that he's not shiny. I'm kind of excited for ZA ranked. I've missed it. Tri-attack. Would Magneton or Magnezone count then? Dodrio. Shiny Dratini. A lot of people seem to be at the game corner right now. What's up, Midnight? Happy 3 years! I'll take this one then. Okay, Blue, nobody asked. Jinx, Electabuzz, Magmar. I feel like you gotta include Scyther in there. I've always thought of Electabuzz, Magmar, Scyther, Jinx as like the same level. Maybe Pinsir too. Yeah, and Mime. Gen 1 had a lot of standalone Pokemon. Well, Pokemon that used to be standalone, I guess. I got Magmortar in Poptopia, and he's such a funny guy. He lives in my kitchen. I think I accidentally got rid of Ludicolo's house in Poptopia, and I have not seen him since. I was playing around with the water, because he's a water spawn. And I think it took away his house, and he's just never come back. Each one's lake has a TM for Blizzard, Fire Blast, and Thunder. That's kind of fun. I did. I made Ludicolo homeless. I think Lombre has the nicest home of the three. Ludicolo needs to come back so I can properly assign him a house. Also, I got the entire Clefairy line. Oh, they're so cute. Cleffa, when you place the Clefairy Clefable statue, Cleffa goes, yay! She's so cute. Cleffa wanted me to make her a Pecha bed. Also, how do the trees in Poptopia work? Because I have never seen a Pecha tree. I feel like I'm losing my mind. The only way I got a Pecha was going to the developer island, taking a picture of their Pecha tree, and then 3D printing one. It was a funny sentence to say out loud. Hoping I get my shiny Mander soon. Thank you. Me too. Me too. We're gonna get to 2,700 and then call it. Yeah, I don't actually think I know how they work, Justin. I've gotten... Everything is just Cherry Berry with a few Chesto, and that's it. 34.25, nice, not bad. $27.05. I know, it's so nice when you actually get to play the game. When I got my Bulbasaur, I was like, wow, I could actually play. We got to go beat Brock. It was great. When I finally get my shiny Magikarp, I think we're going to have to do the Nugget grind. That will be next. Before we get to the next shiny. You could always come back and do the Magikarp. Somebody said that they were thinking about doing that earlier. I can't leave Professor Oak's lab, but I could leave this Pokemon Center. I could leave. Oh, doing a Professor Oak challenge? Nice. Good luck. I'd like to get shiny Rattata, honestly. Raticate's sprite in this game is charming. And I need it for the living dex. One of the few Gen 1 shinies I don't have. The Professor Oak challenge is, I think it's the gist of it is basically you catch all the Pokemon you can from the route before advancing forward. It's basically a catch-em-all mode. I've tossed around the idea of doing one at some point. But for shinies, that would be a pretty tall order. If I completed LeafGreen without getting shiny Charmander, that would be insane. If I got 6 shinies in LeafGreen while Charmander got to like 30k. Ultimate FireRed L. You gotta fully evolve your starter before the first badge. Why does every Pokemon challenge have to have some like, annoying-ass grind fest? It's all just annoying grinding. The thought of grinding my starter until 36 in Route 1 makes me feel bleak. Challenges don't have to be torture. Some challenges are even fun. Yeah, there is nothing challenging about grinding a million Rattatas. Dumb handicaps like nuzlocks. Don't get me started on nuzlock people. Hey, play however you want, chat. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. Feel free to do whatever excruciating, grindy challenges your heart desires. Alright, chat. If you had one shot, one opportunity to get a golden Mander on this day of Mr. Patrick. You take it? Would you walk away? Yeah, shiny only is challenge enough, I agree. This is already gonna take me who knows how long. Months? Years? Who knows? It would be helpful, though, if I could, you know, Magikarp, Charmander. Damn. Well, I got a lot more numbers added today. Surely the shiny has to be right around the corner. Right? My modest female Mander? Yeah, that is a pretty good roll. Imagine if she was shiny, we would have had the most goated shiny Charmander of all time. It could have been a contender. The search continues. True. Shiny only. I'm doing this mostly for stream. This is not something I would do off stream. This is purely, I do this and get to chat with people while I do it, so. But thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. Again, tomorrow is going to be the return to ZA Ranked. If you've never seen it, it's fun. And I like to rage, so that's also fun, I hope. So we're gonna try that out tomorrow, and then more of this on Thursday. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. I appreciate it. Shout out to the YouTube viewers, the VOD watchers. Thank you, everybody, for the super chat, all the follows. I appreciate it. And I will be back tomorrow for the grand return of ZA. Wow. It's been a while. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll catch you all later. Bye. Oh, good luck if you're shiny hunting. Hooper blesses your hunts. Okay, I'm going now.